Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the Operation Monster Force Count Dracula. I don't think anything else really needs to be said. He's Dracula. And here is the front cover art Monster Force. You can see Dracula right there. I am recording this during the day, which seems kind of odd to be recording a Dracula review during the day. So, anyway, on the side you have Count Dracula. These are meant to look like books. It's number 4 in the line there. Big Bad Workshop, Fresh Monkey Fiction. They work together. So these are only available at BBTS, $37. BBTS is Big Bad Toy Store if you are not familiar with it. They are a legitimate site, so don't worry about getting ripped off on them. On the back, you have another Dracula. There you have the story so far, kind of talking about what's going on, and then the cross-sell of all 8 figures that have come out. Now, I have already reviewed the Joe Fest exclusive Dracula. He was a translucent red figure, obviously the blood. It's hard to see the detail in one of those, to be 100% honest. So I'm really excited to get this because I have opened them up, obviously, and I've looked at them right there. Here is the comic panel. Every single one of these has a comic panel, kind of tells you what's going on. And it explains why Van Helsing is working with Dracula, why he raised him, why he freed him, and why he's doing that to fight the Forgotten King. So Dracula is not the bad guy in this lore. It is the Forgotten King. But I think it's safe to say Dracula won't be a good guy always. I mean, he's Dracula. So there's everything that you're going to see. There is a bag back there. I'm not sure how much he comes with. A bunch of hands, a couple different faces, a sword, and a stand. So anyway, let's get into this because everyone wants to see this. But before we do, if you like this type of content, you like this Operation Monster Force, I'm going to try and do the whole entire line. Take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop an Operation Monster Force, Fresh Monkey Fiction, something like that. Now let's go. All right, so I got the figure out, and if you can look here, you can see if you've watched the other Operation Monster Force reviews that I've done, he doesn't come with a lot of stuff. And so this is where you get the cost-cutting measures, all right? They're trying to give you a lot of stuff, but with him, he doesn't get very much. So we're going to start with the stand, all right? The same stand that we've gotten so far, although this one, maybe it's just, it looked like it was a little bit darker. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the angle that I'm looking at. It says Operation Monster Force across it. You got the 2 pegs for the stand. It is obviously a tombstone. It's nice and beat up, so it's actually going to look pretty good. You can create yourself a nice little graveyard. On the bottom, if you do want to use it, it's going to say that it is Count Dracula, just like the rest of them also say Delta Red and who they are. All right, so we'll throw this over there. Now, as you can see here, I have the Blood Dracula here, the Joe Fest exclusive. This is the stand that he comes with. It is a blood splatter that he is actually standing in. Clearly, he is covered in blood. I have a feeling that we might start to see this one go up in price because if the hands are interchangeable, now you can have a blood hand on Dracula. So we'll take a look at everything here. So we're going to have the same type of open hands, but these have to be completely redone as they are a vampire's hand. He's got the long fingernails that are painted. You get the striations all through his hand so you can see the veins and everything. So they look really good. So we're going to have 2 right here. We have 2 trigger fingers, because let's be honest, I still think every figure should come with a trigger finger. There's too many guns out there, and people mix and match stuff. Again, fingernails look really good. It's just a slight departure from the color of his skin. And then we have the 2 fist hands. All right. Now, I'm looking here. I don't believe that Blood Dracula came with fist hands. He has the trigger hands, and he has the open hands, and then they have his C gripping hands. All right. C gripping hands are actually already on Dracula here. All right. So let's quickly take a look at a couple things. I'm going to grab his sword. So here's the sword that he comes with. All right. It has some really nice design on it. All right. You can tell there's some wear right there. It has this nice gold. This thing looks like it has been used in battle. Nice silver blade. It is flexible, but not soft. All right. It is pointy. You don't want to give it to a kid. These are 17 and up. It has a dragon on the bottom. Actually, okay, so there's two dragons here with the wings for the guard. Nice grip, and then a dragon head. So I mentioned when I reviewed the other two that it's hard to do a translucent review. So when you're trying to do a review, and we'll also compare the two there, you can't see the real detail. It is translucent. This looks like one of the swords that your parents would get in their martinis that they put the olive through, something like that, right? So here are, and I'll take a look at the hands too. Like you can see how you can't really see what the detail is. So it made it really difficult to review that figure along with the Forgotten King. So here is the one head that you're going to get. This is obviously his angry vampire head. Those teeth look really nice. They seem to be popping. We got some nice red eyes. Well, they're not red, they're black, I think, with some red. I'm trying to look through my phone. The red pupils and the rest of the eye is black. The eyebrows look good. I like the way the ear is popping out. The hair looks nice and detailed. This guy really keeps himself looking really nice for being a vampire, for being the vampire. But that does look really nice. And then we'll get to the figure. All right. And there's something about this figure, and same with the Forgotten King. They are really popping. I'm really liking the way they look. So let me lift this up. All right. So here we go. He has the same sort of eyes. So he just has these, like, I don't want to say they're dead eyes. They just look like they're very intimidating eyes. I mean, it's Dracula. They should be intimidating. It looks like he could be mind controlling you at any second. So I really do like the way this looks so far. All right. I thought there was a paint scuff there. At first I thought there was a paint scuff right up here. Look at that. You see that? I thought there was a paint scuff. But when I look at this one here, looks like it's supposed to be there. So like it's some sort of mole or something. If that's just not a mistake on both of them, that is some nice attention to detail. Especially considering the eyes are in a different position, so it changes the way that actually looks. And they didn't do it like on both sides. I like, if that's what they did, I like that. Because it's showing that it's not just, on one side. Or that it was a mistake, or let's not do it too much, just enough, all right? But again, paint is all in the nice places that it's supposed to be. I know that sounds weird, but not everyone does a good job. There's a lot of overlay on some of them. This looks good. He has this nice bow tie, and you can see the way the shirt is underneath, and that all looks good. It's all one piece. And then his real nice, is it a tuxedo? I don't know if it's a tuxedo shirt or whatever it is, but it has some nice detail to it. You can see all the buttons. I mean, you can tell this is tailored by probably one of his vampire butlers. You gotta love the red on the inside. I mean, this is what you would assume someone who is very prestigious would wear. And then he just has this leather right here. Well, that's dust. Or not dust, I don't know what it is. The buttons are all the same. Okay. Normally I would say, like, I really like when buttons pop, but I don't think you would have it on something like this that's tailor-made, right? On the back, he does have a port for his for backpacks. It'll look kind of weird if he has a backpack, to be 100% honest. And this is all one piece. So you would have to pop him apart to get that off if you want to get to it. So he's using the same buck. What they do have is a diaphragm cut. I don't have any open right now. I should have opened one. So there's a diaphragm cut. That is the opposite of an ab crunch. So he can move down to a specific point, actually. Oh, maybe you can't. I thought you could see it through here. All right. Well, these are actually two different pieces, but they're glued together. So these are two different pieces glued together. So maybe you can't take it off. Don't take my word on that. This actually has to peel apart. You would have to re-glue it on. I'm going to say don't do it. All right, so you get the T-pose right there, the bicep swivel, pinless double elbows. He's got his wrists that are going to move back and forth. He's got the Jean-Claude Van Damme. You have to kind of push this out of the way. It's pretty good. Drop down hips right there. Never heard that noise in a drop down hip. It kind of worried me. There's your thigh swivel. That is a tight knee right there. We'll work on that in a second. This one, no issues. Again, this thing is going to really be in the way. Here's the boot cut and your ankle rockers. Now, do not be He-Man. Do not try and force something to move. If you need to, heat it up. So I just needed to put a little bit more pressure. I was able to get it. If you're feeling any resistance and you're not sure, you're worried, please heat it up first. Do not break your figure. Contact BBTS and then go all over the internet and complain. When figures are broken, there's no issues with people, reporting what happened. All right, good companies will go ahead, they'll replace it, they'll fix it. Valiverse has done it 100 times when they've had defective figures. They will take care of you, right? That is how it's supposed to be. But don't try and break something. And I know people try and do it. He does move side to side, and his legs can go up and down. I like the boot, that there's actually some traction on it. So if you want to put them in the dirt, in the mud, like my moderator, Action Figs Ed, like a heathen that he is, you can make tracks. I don't know why I'm doing it on this. You're not going to see anything there. All right. So we'll pop everything off, but I kind of want to show people, because I kept complaining how you can't really review these figures in the translucent state. So when I tried to review this after Joe Fest, as nice as they seemed and the way they moved, translucent plastic is different than this type of plastic. It is normally softer, especially glow in the dark. So as great as everything felt, you couldn't tell. Also, there was no paint apps. Without paint apps, you can't tell the detail. All right? So I couldn't tell how wonderful that wash is right there and how that's going to look. And how that paint is, it doesn't bleed. That was my issue when trying to review this. Not an issue, but just something that it was hard to let anyone really know. All right? So that's how he looks here. Let's pop off this head. So I guess that's what I forgot to do. So the head does come off, so does the neck. So technically, you can take Van Helsing, pop off his neck, put it down in here, put on some regular hands, and now you have a dressed Van Helsing, or any other human figures that will be coming out in the line. So that's how you reuse stuff. Or you put Dracula in one of these battle outfits, right? Maybe you buy an extra Van Helsing and you want to swap them out. You want to show everyone, hey, you know what? This guy is also a fighter. He's going to be put on the Van Helsing's armor or battle gear. All right. So here's an angry Dracula. All right. And that looks pretty damn badass. Now, he can look down pretty good. He cannot look up all that well. I guess he can look up a little bit, but the hair is going to be in the way. All right. His head does move side to side really well. So as long as it has this neck piece here, all right, that allows it to move forward. And then obviously the ball joint right there lets you move down a little bit. As for the hands, he has a C-grip. These come off really easily. Now, I did have somebody on one of the other videos make a comment saying they seem too short, they seem cheap, like they're not going to work. All right, they do seem short. You can see that there is a little notch on it. I will tell you right away, time is what will tell how well this is, but these things plug on and they feel good. They're not loose. I don't feel like they're going to fall off. All right, they're tight. Now, time will tell as you move stuff around and play around with it more, but I don't have any issues with it. The really long ones that G.I. Joe had at the beginning, Valaverse, those were hard to get into place. Valaverse actually changed theirs around, and I don't even want to talk about what Hasbro does because they're always changing stuff around. All right, so here we go. How easy is he to stand? Well, he should be fairly easy. He has the same boots as the Sleepwalker back there. All right. Take his sword, and we can throw it right here. And again, there's only so much you can really do because he only comes with his sword and his different faces. But I think what might make people want to pick up this guy a little more, and he is sold out, I don't believe, is, you know, having a blood hand. All right, this guy just reached in, ripped out someone's heart. I know someone's gonna say, "Well, there's no blood on here." Okay, I know, it's imagination, or that he's standing in some blood of someone that he just. I don't need this. I don't need to put it there. Right. So he's standing on a pool of blood. All right. This little blood thing is actually a pretty good, cool design. You can have the sword completely drenched in it. You can have his head where it's completely full of blood. So I think that's the reason why we might see this one start to go up in price a little bit, because I have a feeling people are going to want to start mixing and matching. And let's be honest, Dracula with like one bloody hand is actually pretty fucking awesome. All right. But all in all, they pose well. Oh, you know what? Here's what I should. So we're going to pop this off really quick. So I talked about the butterfly joints. If you know what butterfly joints are, they are this piece right here, right? Hasbro Joes have them. They're more aesthetically. They do help move the arm around, but they do not allow you to move forward. And what I mean by that is, let's say we want to cross over and hold the gun. They don't allow you to. They have good ones right down there. I don't have any of the figures open. I need to take one off for me for the next review. I'll make sure someone doesn't have plate carrier on. So these can move over like this. And you can see how the hands will cross over. So your hands can actually cross like this. You can hold the gun, or you can hold a sword properly. Now he has this overlay, which can obviously obstruct it a bit. But this overlay, in my opinion, is soft enough that it allows him to still do it. Same with the Sleepwalker over here. I played around with it afterwards. This is pliable enough, it's cut far enough that we can still do that even with this. So Dracula can actually hold his sword properly, unlike any of the G.I. Joe ninjas, unfortunately. And I think that's about it for Dracula. There's not too much more to show. Okay, so that is my first thought on this Operation Monster Force Count Dracula, part of the first wave, not the Joe Fest exclusive, which was the Blood Red. I think it's a wonderful figure. He looks amazing, but yes, he is short on accessories. And this is something that some companies will do. I can't say that I'm fully a huge fan of it. I understand why they do it when they're trying to find cost-cutting measures, but as I mentioned, I think that everyone should come with a world-building aspect, little trinkets that can be built up, that can be put on desks and different things like that. But as for the figure itself, the hands, the sword, top-notch. I think the color looks awesome. The articulation looks good. So if it's something that you're into, it's something that you want. I don't think you're going to be very disappointed in it. So far, I've been happy with the review on all of these. All right, so there you have it. That is my Operation Monster Force Count Dracula review video. Again, a bare bones figure for the most part. Just a sword, the base, hands, and an extra head sculpt. I do understand why they do this. I also think like you could have given them a few other things for the price point of $37. With all that said, if that doesn't bother you, you're going to have a lot of accessories, even if you're only collecting Operation Monster Force. And let's be honest, a lot of us aren't, but a lot of it becomes world building. So I said this before, give world building options in every single little figure, Marvel Legends and everything like that. Just little trinkets that will build out a world, whether it be coffee mugs, and I'm not saying give him a coffee mug, but maybe like a plate and a tea set. And this sounds kind of weird, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, there you go. If you want them, go get them. Big Bad Toy Store. It is a legit site. $37 you're going to pay for each and every single one of these. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for sticking around for this long. If you don't mind, you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a video, and maybe if I'm even a little crooked. Now I'm going to get out of here, but don't go anywhere. What I am going to do is I'm going to drop a link to the Sleepwalker video that I just did, and down here is going to be a playlist of all the Operation Monster Force stuff that I've done. Take care.